a few days ago saw something that made me really think, and it said, "The quieter I am, the more I can hear." And I thought that was a great thought. And that is part of what my lesson has been over the last 3 years here, that I have been over these last 65 years, before these 3 years, so full of myself that there were so many things that not only could I not hear them, I couldn't see them. Dad used to say, he said, "You got to remember, you believe none of what you hear and only half of what you see. Because even those things you see may not be exactly as the way you think you saw them." So through my life, I have learned that sometimes being willing to sit back and watch what's going around you will be as powerful as anything that you might do. And those are not easy things for me because, like I said, my first 25 years were spent in the church. My dad did a great job of seeing to us that us kids not only made church but Sunday school, and I ended up in a Mennonite college where I spent 5 years, because no brighter than I was, it took 5 years to get out. But during those 5 years, we attended chapel 3 times a week and had no choice. And yet, because I was so busy talking rather than listening, I never did get the message. And part of it was the fact that because the scriptures themselves, which I have learned here at the Crossroads, are very important. Because without the Word of God, it's going to be very difficult to move forward. The reason I haven't bored you with any of the sin in my life today is because I know this is only supposed to take a few minutes and I wouldn't have time to go over those things. But I always considered myself a loyal and honest person all of my life. And I had to take a look back what amounts to probably 35 years ago, maybe just a little longer than that, when I terminated my first marriage because I did not have any idea about what being faithful and loyal and understanding that I had made a promise to Jesus Christ to take care of someone. And I terminated my first marriage, which was very difficult for me simply because I was so full of myself I couldn't even admit the failure there. And that was my fault. But the Lord came through for me, and He blessed me because the second time around, which now spans 35 years since that, have been blessed by the woman who is with me today because she came from my first testimonial and was willing to hold my hand so when I started bawling, I'd have somebody here to lean on. Fortunately, that didn't happen, and I do truly believe it was because Jesus Christ gave me the strength to bring that message to this church. I want you all to know that it's because of the people of this church and people like Ron and his wife who are getting ready to celebrate 50 years, that I can honestly tell you I've never felt more at home than I do in this church, and I thank you for all that you do. Thanks.